You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building, Young Berg.
Now, Berg, I'm going to be honest with you. And I saw you on the schedule. I said, why is Young Berg coming?
He said it like 3 times.
And then what happened?
I don't know what
I had
happened.
to tell you how many songs you produced.
We ran it down for you.
We got a bunch of songs on the charts right now.
I mean, you said Bounce Back was one of your favorite songs right now. I produced
you did Bounce Back?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. You feel crazy now, Charlie.
I do. I'm going to be honest with you. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Now, you got a couple of tracks. Now, you stopped rapping. You're not rapping anymore?
Nah, I'm not rapping no more. I just evolved. I'm transitioning to a whole, different lane, just a different sector.
You can't say that when you got a pink jacket on.
Nah.
Can't say anything about transition.
This jacket fly.
But you did Chris Brown's party also?
Yeah, I did Chris Brown's party with Gucci Mane and Usher.
Down real quick, Berg.
Oh my God.
What you got right now? Because I didn't know all of this.
And let's see, he did 4 songs on Nicki's last album.
Let him tell it. He got it.
Hold on.
Nicki's
He
album was a
got to
while
look it up.
ago.
That's how he know he did a lot.
Hold on, man.
I didn't know.
You didn't know?
No, I didn't. I had no clue.
It's getting real right now, Charlamagne.
Bounce Back
for real.
is tough too.
Yo Gotti, Young Thug, Rihanna, DJ Mustard featuring Nicki and Jeremih. Don't Hurt Me. Nicki Minaj Want Some More. Nicki Minaj featuring Meek by Heart. Nicki Minaj saying Hi. Nicki Minaj Ain't Gonna Do It. Nicki Minaj featuring Jeremih Favorite. Chris Brown featuring Usher and Gucci Mane Party. Big Sean Bounce Back. K Michelle Ain't You The Game featuring Jeremih All Eyes. Kid Ink featuring Jeremih Nasty. Pusha T featuring Jeremih Pay. R. Kelly featuring Jeremih Lil Wayne Switch Up. Chris Brown What Do You Do? Jason Derulo, Karma Sutra.
Wow,
you want him to go on?
I had no idea.
But that's why we have Young Berg here, so that people like you that don't know
Yes, because
can
there's a
be
lot of people
informed.
thinking that, like, why are they interviewing Young Berg?
Yeah. But I ain't Berg no more. I'm Hitmaker. It's over for that.
Oh,
It's over for that.
It's over for that.
Transition.
So Hitmaker
fully.
is your new name.
Nah, no Caitlyn.
Oh, okay.
No Caitlyn.
That's
But
dope, though,
But
man.
you work really closely with Jeremih also.
yeah, Jeremih is like my business partner. We do a lot of work together. Like,
Now, I got to ask you, because I
Okay.
know you were on a tour
Yeah.
with Jeremih when he was with Party Next Door.
yeah.
Oh, you was on
What?
the road?
I was there.
Oh,
What
wow.
the hell was going on? As a person that was behind the scenes, knowing what was happening, what happened?
I think that it was some discrepancies within the tour. From what I hear, my interpretation was that he was supposed to headline in Chicago. Things didn't work out that way. It was supposed to be co-headlining different cities, and it just didn't work out that way. And Jeremih did what he wanted to do.
Right.
Who you think should have been the headliner? I would say Jeremih because he got more radio hits, but then Party got like such a crazy buzz online.
Jeremih is the most prolific songwriter right now of our time, in my personal opinion. Like, if you think about all the records that I just named, like, he's been and giving people actual hits. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Game, like, we gave him a hit. Like, I don't think Game's had a real, like, top 10, top 5 record like that since, like, how we do it, like, earlier records, you
Hey,
know?
I love it, right?
And he has his own
One
hits,
Blood.
too. In addition to that, his album is
Yeah,
popping.
this new album I did this whole project with him, man. This new record we got, his new single featuring Chris Brown, featuring Big Sean. It's about to go crazy. It comes out in a couple weeks. I did that as well with him.
When did you know it was time for you to stop rapping?
You know, it was really just about evolving. I kind of put it like Charles Barkley. Like, you know how they retire and then they get into TV? Like, this is my career. Music is my career. I wrote and I produced all my own records when I was Young Berg, the artist. So it was just only right. Like, I was going through so much slander, and then Love and Hip Hop happened, and then I was on there, and I'm like, once that ended, I'm like, I got to just turn it up, take it to the next gear, and then here we are now.
I heard you were supposed to go back on Love and Hip Hop.
It's some talk. They was talking about that, but I don't think
Why?
it was necessary.
You
No.
don't need to.
Hit producing now. Why?
Yeah, I'm not going back on there, but I did, like, when they kicked me off at first, I did want to get some type of redemption, and now I just think the records that I did is my redemption at the end of the day.
You had a
What
crazy
really
life,
hap-
though.
Yeah.
Because, let's start from the beginning.
Right.
First time I probably met you, DMX actually handpicked you and signed you. And this is when DMX was running Def Jam.
Out of here, like.
And what happened, and how did DMX sign you?
DMX signed you.
DMX signed me.
remember that.
Yeah, like that was the first thing, and then
It's like
I was
Bloodline,
yeah,
okay.
Bloodline. I was the first artist signed to Bloodline, and I lost my deal because I was just running around with gangbangers, dudes that was selling drugs. My parents was like scared and terrified for me, so I went to the mall one day with my mom. And I walked out the mall and I met 2 big Samoan dudes, and she was like, "Chris, you got to go to school." And they kidnapped me and took me to Thompson Falls, Montana, and that was the end of my deal. That's how I lost my deal. She signed over my parental rights, paid $5,000 a month for me, and being like a boot camp style thing in like Thompson Falls, Montana.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. That sounded like rape when you first said that. Did you put you in a sex trafficking?
No.
So your mom didn't like the fact you had a deal, didn't like the music industry?
Never like me doing music. Like my parents are like, I come from a wealthy like background. My parents are well off, so they never wanted me to do music. Like I was supposed to be the kid that was like 15 with a permit and a Range Rover, but instead I wanted to go like sell crack and hang out with LEP and people like that, and that's how I end up. I was like, back in that day, you had to be authentic. Like, so like when you talked about it, like I was really selling crack because in my raps, I was like, I'm selling crack.
Chicago, right?
Yeah.
That is so interesting because most people, and it is true in the hip hop community, if you haven't had that background where they feel like you're connected to the streets and you do all of this, then it feels like it's not authentic. But you could have did raps about what your life really was like, but maybe people wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, and then, that's when I just turned to the overdrive about women because women is my life and I do that best.
How'd you meet DMX though? I heard X used to spend a lot of time in Chicago.
I met DMX through LEP. I used to be a part of LEP. And they took me to LA and we met with a whole bunch of different people. I met Eve first, who was like a big sister to me, and then I met X next, and then X, we were on a video shoot of what these bitches want from a nigga. And Aaliyah was there and a whole bunch of different people was there, and I spit for X, and then the next day I came back and X was playing my music in the trailer.
Tell them how you spit for X at first.
I was like, like on Shot-Town Twister, like West Side type of flow, and he was like, shorty, slow down, shorty, I don't understand you. And I spit like a 32 bar like slur Jadakiss kind of like rap after that, and then the next day they were playing my demo, and then it was just amazing. And Kevin Loud was like, your life is gonna change from here.
How old were you?
14, 15.
You wasn't doing beats then, right? Just
Nah, I was like,
he actually gave you tell him he gave you a pit bull.
Yeah, DMX gave me a pit bull when I got signed. He moved me here to Jersey, so I lived in Jersey, and he gave me a
advance.
Yeah. My deal was right. I think my deal was for $500,000. I got like $150,000 to my pocket. You know what I'm saying?
At that young age.
Yeah. So I moved up here, and then he gave me a dog, and he was like, "Shorty, you got to take the dog with you everywhere. I don't ever want to see you without the dog." So I'm in Def Jam, like in front of Leor's office, and my dog is using the bathroom in front of Leor's office taking a shit, and like X was so popping at the time, they was just like, "Oh, that's Iceberg, that's X artist. Just go ahead, go in X's office," and that was it.
I never knew you was Iceberg, and I remember Iceberg because I remember when DMX came out with Bloodline Records, and he had some artists in it, Iceberg.
Yeah, I was the first one.
Oh, wow.
So then what happened when the Somalians brought you back?
So I never came back. My father came back and got me, and like I was cut off from the world when I was in that program. You couldn't watch TV, you couldn't read newspaper, listen to. I didn't know 9/11 happened. I ain't know nothing.
That's
like
crazy.
Like they cut us off from the world, and like if you
How old were you at this time?
Probably like 16. So if you act bad at that place, they send you to High Impact in Jamaica where there's no child safety laws and they can beat you up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you got
Berg was in sex trafficking, man. I don't care what he said. Yes, he was.
This is real. This some government stuff. Like this really go on. Like this really happened. So I was there. I left there. I came back and the story is so crazy. I got with it. My weed man became my manager in LA, and I literally made the song "Sexy Lady" like at his house with my little homie Junior or whatever. And he used to be a club promoter, and I used to have like a chinchilla on every night in this club called Area in LA, and I performed "Sexy Lady," and from there it became the number one.
That, don't you think?
Yeah, but I was young. I was trying to stand out and do something different, and it turned into being the number one song in LA at that time, and that's how I got my record deal.
Your manager was your weed man.
Yes.
How did that happen? Like you sitting around high and just
he was my weed man, and then he was like, you know what, I'm a club promoter too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I can get them to spin your records, and then that turned into them spinning my records. And it's like once it got popping, it's like you might as well be my manager.
That makes sense because the weed guy always has all the connects.
He got all the connects
because they sell weed to everybody, so they know everyone. They can get in everywhere, so it actually makes sense.
Yep. So I got my deal like that, and that was just like the first little thing, and then from there, it's just a whole bunch.
Signed to?
I signed to Epic Records at that time. Charlie Walk signed me. I'll never forget it. I was doing, like, I hated Sexy Can I. Like, I had Sexy Lady and I already had the song The Business, and I hated that song, Sexy Can I. And, like, I remember one day I walked in Charlie Walk's office, and he was tap dancing on top of his grand piano and told me that Sexy Can I was going to be the biggest song of my career. And I was like, are you serious? And it sold like 8.5 million records, and I own like 30% of publishing, so it turned out well for me.
When did you start doing beats?
Man, I've been co-producing beats and doing all that this whole time. Like The Business, I co-produced. Sexy Lady, I co-produced. All these different records I was already doing, so it just came naturally with it.
How do your parents feel now about you being in the music business? Because they have to be like, okay.
It was crazy because you watch your family change. Like at first it was like, I don't want you to do this, and then it turned into like once I'm on TV and once I'm popping, and she became my biggest fan. You know what I'm saying?
Can I come to the show?
Yeah, it turned into that.
She sees what's going on. She seen what's going on with you. She wanted to make sure you was going down that right path.
Mm-hmm.
What did your parents do that they were well off?
My father is one of like the biggest real estate guys in Chicago, and my mom owned the biggest chain of child daycare centers in Chicago, in Illinois.
You had no reason to ever sell a crack rock to pick up a gun.
Center.
I was running around with LEP and them type of people. You already know what time they was on.
How do you survive Chicago?
You leave.
Yeah. Everybody
Honestly, you got to get up out of there. You got to do what you got to do to make well for your peoples, and you got to get up out of there. There's no way. It's like it's a trap. Period.
Now
So,
you and Bow Wow were feuding a couple months back. What's up with you and Bow Wow? Y'all good now?
I mean,
Bow Wow was feuding.
Yeah, him and Bow Wow. Remember they had that video one
I
time?
missed that when I got kidnapped by some Samoans. I didn't know what was going on. What happened?
Fast forward a little bit. What
Okay.
happened
So,
with you and Bow Wow?
I mean, Bow Wow just is a sucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, he be talking, like, pillow talking. Like, I was hanging out with Corinne at one point in my life.
Corinne
Corinne
Steffens,
Steffens?
Superhead. Is the head really super, Berg?
It's good.
It's decent?
Yeah, it's nice.
It's good head, not super.
No comment. I ain't gonna go there. She crazy with it.
Was she
I mean,
was she
you already
number one though? If you had to rate everybody, was she number one for you?
She's top 5 that are alive.
I mean,
for sure.
Berg, you already admitted you got top from her. What can she say other than I gave Berg
And
some
she'll be
head.
mad if you say she's not number one.
That was my homie though. Like, we really had a cool relationship, and like, she told me one day, like offline, like, yo, like, this dude Bow is so lame. Like, he told me that I shouldn't be having sex with you. I should only have sex with Lil Wayne and him, and people of that stature. And I was like, what? So then, fast forward, she goes and does a Vlad TV interview and explains the whole story on Vlad TV. And I'm like, where did this come from? But I don't know, I kind of felt it. Hey, I used to date Bow Wow's baby mother. I dated her before she was Bow Wow's baby mother, and then
You
I
used to hate
dated
that
her.
too?
She was supposed to
That
be
was my
on.
girl.
She was
That's
supposed to be
your
on Love and Hip
She
Hop.
was
with
on
you.
Love and Hip Hop with me. We filmed for like 2.5, 3 months, and then like I went to work with Puff in Miami, and then they just fired her from the show. And I came back, and I was at Hazel E.I.'s house when I first came back. That was my first scene. It was like, here you go, Berg. This is time
You
to tee
dated
up.
everybody on
So
the
did
show.
you do, what's his
You
baby mama name?
Joy, she's beautiful too.
Did you used to do her dirty?
No, I did it right.
I'm talking about sexually, like
Oh, stop it.
all soft in her face, teabag.
Oh, stop
No,
it.
why
Come
would
on.
you- Come on, that's disrespectful.
Nah.
That's her man baby mama now. That's
Yeah,
his
but I'm
ex.
talking about when she was his girl. What did he used to do?
Why
Now you wanna know that
Yeah.
anyway.
Just asking.
You ever seen her before? What would you
I
do?
don't think I ever seen her.
You might want to pull up.
She
It's a
used to
vibe.
date Boo also.
My brother Boo?
Yeah.
Black Boo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
She a legend.
She seemed
She
like a nice.
Whoa, she's a legend?
Yeah, she legend. She
No,
If
she's
you had
a,
to give her a
she's a very
nickname like
pretty woman,
Superhead,
and
what
she
would you
seemed like
call
a
her?
nice person based off of her,
She
social
is.
media.
She is nice. You know what I'm saying?
But you
I ain't going there. I ain't going there
Why
with
did
you.
y'all,
I ain't
so why
going
did
down
y'all
that
break
road.
up?
I just felt like it wasn't genuine. Like once, like I had her around me, and like I was doing Nicki sessions. Like I would bring her around, like when I was working with Nicki Minaj and stuff like that. And out the blue, she just popped up like, "Yo, I'm a singer. Like I want you to work with me." And then I thought that was mad random.
But wait,
You know what I'm
everyone
saying?
does that to you. It seems.
Yeah,
like.
and then let me tell you how crazy
When
Mona
you
is.
find out you make beats.
Look, let me tell you how crazy Mona and them is too. So the song that Tierra Marie ends up singing was Joy's song at first, and we did the whole song with Joy on the show, and like she recorded the song, and then like once they fired Joy, they're like, "Yo, give it to Tierra Marie," and I gave the song to Tierra Marie. It ended up being really good for Tierra Marie though.
You know what's so interesting about you and like Shad? Like y'all all live in LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't y'all ever run into each other?
I've seen Bow Wow probably 4 times in my life.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So
But you
ever-
had to look up to him though. 'Cause
Yeah, I mean everybody looked up to Lil Bow
Ain't
Wow.
y'all same age?
Yeah, I looked up to Jermaine Dupri. He never wrote or made any of his music. Jermaine Dupri, like he was the first dude with a ghostwriter. The Brat was his ghostwriter. He was the first guy out here with a female ghostwriter. So I
Bow
give
Wow?
him, the Brat wrote Bounce with me.
That's dope.
All those different, you know what I'm saying, records, Jermaine wrote those. I'm just really mad that I can't talk to Jermaine, like get some jewels from him or something like that, because I think that where I'm going in my career, he can give me some jewels, but his son hates me.
You think Jermaine would hold that against you?
I mean, if
Loyalty.
Yeah.
Wise. I mean,
I've never heard of a man having a female ghostwriter, by the way.
that's lit, right?
But the Brat was dope though.
And the Brat's a lesbian, so it's kind of like,
oh, shut up.
no, I'm serious. So she kind of got like a male mindset a little bit, right? She always had the tomboy vibe going. She can.
Well, who do you talk to then? Since you're saying you wish you could get some jewels from Jermaine Dupri, who can you get some jewels from, or who do you look up to that you still can speak to as a mentor? Anybody?
Not really. You know what I'm saying? I think that the key thing is to be around your team. Like I have a good team, I have good management. I don't want to just go getting advice from everybody because like that was wrong with my career. Like when I was young Berg, the artist, like I was the boss of my own thing. I didn't have no OGs. I didn't have nobody to tell me, yo, don't do this, take that chain off. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just different stuff. So I should have just had the right people around me, but I didn't. Now I do.
Yeah, but everybody gonna tell you take the chain off after they take it from you and pass it around the internet.
Man, but
different.
that's so like 10 years old though.
That's what
like,
I'm saying. Like
that gotta go. That gotta die.
I ain't thought about it to be honest with you.
Yeah, like that.
Have you been back to Detroit since?
No. I never, and
honestly,
honestly, that really had nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I've never met Trick. I never
You
met
don't have
none
to
of them.
explain that no more.
Yeah,
That's old.
That's old.
news.
Yeah.
Yeah, you making music now. You getting all these. Have you gotten a royalty check back?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's lit
Yeah.
right now. Like you seen all the ones I named. Like I have so much more coming too. Like, shout out to all the singles I got coming. I got Nelly's single. I got Omarion singles about to come out. I work closely with Pia Mia. I'm doing her whole project. Her singles about to come out. I got several records, probably like 8 new singles that's about to drop in
I
next
always
week.
say that when unfortunate things happen, all you got to do is just keep on working and grinding, and then eventually people will be like, all right, I mean, you can't deny talent and good music at the end of the day. As much as people might want to like clown and talk about things that happened in the past, if you just keep on going, eventually people will be like,
that's
okay,
what I told L'Oreal, who's sitting out there. Like, when that thing happened with me and Masika, like, I went and seen L'Oreal right after I got out of jail, and she was crying like, oh my God, like, you were doing so good. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna be straight. Like, I'm gonna grind it out,
Yeah,
and it's
because
gonna
people
be right.
looked at you like he's a woman beater. He beat up Masika.
And then she come here and tell y'all the correct story. I
Which
think
one's
Masika.
Masika? They all a blur to me.
She's the one that has a baby with Fetty Wap.
Got you.
Okay.
Not the one we spoke to.
She actually wanted you back on the show after that.
Yeah, like, you was on her though. I think I seen the interview. You was on her. You was on her tough. You said you wanted to sniff the seat.
Why are you acting like you don't remember her being up here? And you said she looked.
I really don't, man. I really don't.
Shout out to
Ray J
Masika.
good? You a Ray J good?
Nah,
What happened?
I don't rock with Ray J at all.
What Ray J do? Ray J's a good guy.
Come on, stop. He has a tooth problem now.
He's a tooth problem.
That's a stunt. Yeah, that's a stunt.
You a jerk.
I think that, like, I just can't support what Ray J and Whack 100 and the moves they be making. I just don't support them. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, when that whole thing went down, like, of course, like, with the Tierra Marie situation, it was Ray J who prompted me to say, you have to say that she gave you fellatio, you know what I'm saying, and
Did
do all
she
this.
though?
Let me be real with that. Let me be honest and candid with that. This whole thing, Breakfast Club has been a part of the whole thing. Remember, I came up here and I told y'all that Ray J and Tierra was dating. Then she came up here and said, then she said they wasn't dating to y'all, and she was gonna get me messed up and all this other stuff. So we didn't like each other. We started doing Love and Hip Hop, and we kind of got close, and we got cool, and we started to like each
Did
other.
she suck your dick, Berg?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not bad.
Not in that alley though.
Yeah, so it's not like Ray J lied.
No.
He didn't
But
do
he forced me to do that because of the way he wanted to get back with Princess. And he was like, yo, you need to go ahead and say it. I never wanted to say that. I never wanted to do anything of that nature. I got a lot of respect for Tierra. I think she's amazing. I actually really liked her when all that stuff was going on.
Yeah,
but
Tierra's a sweetheart.
But then Whack 100, he's so crazy. Like, I go in the studio with Tierra after the fact to try and make it right with her, and he doesn't do a sway in the morning interview talking about he walked in the studio and I'm gay and this, that, and the third. And, like, he just, like, 40, 50-year-old man liar. Like, I just can't respect
Why you
that.
say he was gay?
Because I was in the studio with Tierra Marie. He told me, like, he was a wolf and he was going to ruin my life. And I guess that's how he thought he was going to go about doing it.
Now, let's get back to some
Now,
other
hold
things.
on now. Let's clear this up now.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So, you and Ray J could never be cool. And Whack is known to be, put pressure on people.
Yeah, I mean, I respect him in that aspect, but I'm not in the streets.
But you also did a song for Game that was big for him.
My type of guy.
You did a
right
song
there.
for Game that was big for him,
I did
too.
Game single.
Yeah.
All Eyes that's out right
yeah.
now. Like, I mean, I'm actually an asset more than anything.
Did you get paid for it, though?
1,000%.
Oh, okay. Cause Whack
Yeah,
might
so
be like,
that's
look,
interesting.
write all those royalty checks to me, or you can't walk around L.A. with your pink jacket on.
I don't really, I'm gonna be 100. I don't even be in the mix like that. I'm in the studio. Anybody want to find me? I'm in the studio, and that's where I'm at. And I'm not trying to be in the clubs. I'm not trying to be out there and do what they do. I know what my lane, and I'm staying in. I'm
I
riding.
like that. I respect
Now
that.
you also work with Chris Brown pretty closely, right? So I'm sure you got your money on Chris Brown if he fights Soulja Boy.
Chris Brown, Soulja Boy.
Personally, I think it's whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole thing. But of course, Chris is my brother. You know what I'm saying? And we've done a lot of different records together, and I've known him for a long time. So I mean, my money on Chris on CB. But I wish that, like, he wouldn't even entertain it though, for real. But I guess he put up his daughter and all that other stuff, and it's just like crossed too many lines.
How do all of those guys get the blood set so crazy? And why have you never fallen victim to
You
that?
want to know what that is? When you come to LA and people embrace you from the rip, certain sets might embrace you, certain blood sets, and then you become a part of that set. You know what I'm saying? So if Chris has been in LA for 10 years and he's been moving with Bloods, like, it's 10 years of being around Blood. So you can't expect him not to be a Blood. If you're around somebody for 10 years, something is going to rub off, or you're going to be affiliated with these people. That's his family.
You got to
now.
get jumped in or something, though.
You know what? I'm from Chicago. All I know is GD, BD, Vice Lord, Four Corner Hustler. I don't know nothing about no Bloods, no Crips, and I'm not trying to learn nothing about it either.
Bow Wow told me I couldn't come to L.A.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Some set he's with. I don't know.
Have you been to
something.
LA
It's the
since?
same.
Yes, I have. Several times.
Bow Wow need to relax.
Now,
Who
are
won
you
in the fight
interested-
between you and Bow Wow? The boxing match.
He's gonna have to say he would win.
I wouldn't even fight Bow Wow.
Really?
I would just go have sex with another girl to upset him. that he dealt with.
This is crazy.
Yeah,
All
like
right.
I hit you where it hurt. Like that ain't gonna hurt.
You already got his baby mom. Though. Who else would you smash?
Mena. I don't know. I'm just playing. I love Erica Mena. I don't even want her to go in on me like that. I see Erica. I don't even want to go in. I'm just joking.
Oh, man. So now what about working with other Chicago artists? Obviously, we know you work closely with Jeremih, but what about all these other up-and-coming artists from Chicago? Do you feel like you got to reach out and try to...
I would like to. I've worked with Berg before, you know, and I've done a lot of things with Chicago artists, but like right now, like I'm chasing big checks. Like my last week, I did Black Youngster single and I did Enrique Iglesias single in the same week.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like,
but it is important, I think, for these young
out here
Chicago
working.
artists
He working.
to, you know, see somebody from Chicago who made it, and I think it's nice to reach back and.
yeah, I mean, I'm down for anybody that's just not on
Because
the.
you could be mentoring some of them. Because obviously, early on in your career, you were so young when you got put on, and you made a lot of mistakes.
I do want to sign an artist. Like my thing is like I've been offered a couple positions from labels right now. Like I have like 3 different labels trying to offer me positions, A&Rs and stuff like that.
They just trying to get free beats. Don't do it.
Envy told me not to do it. He said don't. But I'm saying though, this what I'm saying. I got my finger on the pulse of the music business. So wouldn't you rather your A&R be someone that actually creates the record, that can actually bring the record in for you, that instead of being someone that's focused on their job? I think the music industry is messed up right now because everybody's focused on not getting fired. Nobody wants to take a risk.
You see people like The Dream and Neo, they're executives.
As long as they don't make you stay in the office. As long as you can do what you
But I don't
do.
think that's what they would want him to do.
And then it gets messy. You do a hit for somebody on Def Jam and you're signed to Atlantic. Now Atlantic's mad at you. Like, why
But
didn't you
I
give
also
us that
feel like
record?
if they're pursuing you, you can make your structure your situation any way you
Yeah,
want.
like I want to go in and tell them like, yo, this is what I want to do. If take it or leave it, because I'm gonna continue to
Right,
make
and
hits
they'll take it.
regardless. And it's like they paying me like $45,000 a track right now, so you might want to get a discount at some point. You know what I'm saying?
45 grand a track. Let me look up Young Berg's net worth.
I don't know what my net worth is.
I like these type of stories. I like to
Absolutely.
see people evolve, man. Because I'm not gonna lie, I thought you was doing nothing. It says around $2 million. I'm sure you got more than that.
That's kind of old.
That's kind of old. About 10 years.
I live in a 15,000 square foot house by myself. I don't know what they talking about.
There
So
you
when
go.
are you going to settle down, hit maker?
Oh man,
Since that's who he's transitioned into.
never.
Never.
Nah. If these girls too grimy, I done seen too much.
Berg, like as long as I got people Bow Wow, I'm never settling down.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm always
Sometimes
gonna
you a
smash
little
one of
grimy
these chicks.
too, though.
I'm not grimy,
Sometimes
yo.
you put out that energy, and those are the women you attract.
I just like whores sometimes.
Just like horse. This guy's crazy.
It's really a reality of
Okay.
the situation. Yeah, like we all like that, so it is what it is.
Wow.
We appreciate
This
you
interview was
joining
much
us,
better than I
Berg.
thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. You thought it was gonna be a little crazy?
I didn't know what you was doing, Berg. I really thought you was
If
doing
he
nothing.
could've
I
told
had
you.
no idea.
He would have canceled you. He was trying. Like, you know,
Nah,
I wasn't trying. I was like, why we gotta interview Young Berg?
You said
No,
it
I'm not
like
gonna-
5
Because I
times.
like Berg, but why?
I'm not going to
Why?
lie. I did push for this interview because I always like him because he is very candid and you don't hesitate to say what it is that really happened and you
Yeah.
don't play that industry game. But I also know a lot of things that you are doing because we have some mutual friends.
Yeah.
And so I'm always up to date.
And y'all get me in trouble all the time. Y'all got me in
You got
trouble with
yourself in
Tamar
trouble.
Braxton, all type of stuff.
What
Shout out to
happened with
Auntie
Tamar?
Tamar. You know, like I remember I
Smash
wrote.
Tamar too?
No.
Damn, bro.
I wrote and produced Tamar record. Remember the song she had, the one that was like the Notorious Big joint or whatever? That was a remake of that. And then like she went and did an interview. She did an interview and said I wrote and produced the record. And then I started doing Love and Hip Hop. And she got on kind of like shaded me on Instagram. So I went and I reposted the video. Then I seen her at the BMI Awards and I just touched her like, hey Tamar. She was like, Vince, he touched me, and like ran away from me like crazy. Like, I'm like, I just gave you a hit. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, Auntie. Like, my bad.
What
like,
did Vince say to you? Don't touch my wife?
No, see, Corinne is in the midst of that too.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
God.
Corinne gave Vince head too?
No, look, so this is what happened.
started
No,
rumors.
Corinne has been actually helpful for me, like for real.
We
so
heard.
I was
You bought her mouth?
no, I was
her
I was with Corinne and I was venting because I didn't get paid for my services for the Tamar record. They went behind my back and paid another entity. So I was venting and I wasn't getting paid, and I was doing a chase around Vincent Herbert type of thing or whatever. Not to say he was ducking me or nothing like that, but you know, it was bigger
just wasn't
things
getting
on
back.
his menu to
Right.
get back to me. So one day on the 4th of July, I decided not to spend it with Corinne, and I went to a party, and she gets on Twitter and says, I wonder if at the real Young Berg got paid for that at Tamar Braxton record yet. Vincent Herbert called me in 4 minutes. Berg, we can't be doing this. I got paid less than 24 hours.
Don't be
though,
having
so-
Corinne tweet about me.
Corinne, good looking on
You
that.
need to get paid.
So
Call
Corinne
Super-
put guys under pressure,
She
basically.
was upset you didn't spend 4th of July, so that was like really your girl?
I wouldn't say my girl, but we
You
I
with
think
her
we
on
dated.
holidays.
I
Well,
think
no.
we dated.
That was your holiday.
That was
July don't count.
That was my homie. Like, she really a cool person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you get past all that other craziness, she really cool. But
All right.
Wow.
Well, there you have it.
If you're a married man and you done got some head from Corinne will put you under pressure.
Feels like that's who you should end up with. A
Hey,
lot of
yeah,
yourself
hey,
ties
yeah,
back to-
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Don't do that.
Bye. Bye, y'all. Hitmaker.
Young Berg, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in